What is going on, guys? It's Monday, April 16th, and Memorial Week. We have a softer version of the JT Proflex on the way. NXL Europe Chartres conclusion. Iron City Classic has sold out again. Paintball setup wars, 4 winners, and cool paintball shit on the internet. I have on good authority that JT are releasing a new version of the Proflex. The Proflex is, I would say the most popular paintball mask ever made. It's been nearly 20 years now, and people are still wearing the thing. The Proflex's popularity is really just because it breathes so well, it's comfortable, you can get it in a lot of colors, and you can kind of like customize it with those colors. So you can put on different bottoms, straps, goggle frames, all kinds of things. And then it's named the Proflex because of that flexible bottom it has. When GI Sportz purchased Key Action Sports, they also acquired JT, the maker of that Proflex. They came out with a new version of the Proflex, which was very similar to the previous version. So it had like same straps, same goggle frame, same lenses, and looked really similar to the original Proflex. But they did change the bottom quite a bit. They made it look like the Empire E-Flex bottom, so it was a little more, I don't know, sharp angled. It wasn't as like smooth or bubbly, I guess, as the previous Proflex. But people's biggest complaint was that it was much, much harder. It was still like rubbery, but not nearly as soft as the previous Proflex. And then the newer version that's gonna be coming out is gonna have a much more rubbery and soft bottom that like, the Proflex has been known for. So at this point, the thing's kind of still in the works. There's no like colors or like prices or availability, anything like that. Just that it's gonna have a lower bottom, and that like OG Proflex guys will be happy with the new lower. The first ever NXL Europe event concluded this past weekend in Chartres, France. The first ever is because the NXL Europe kind of like took over or like purchased the Millennium Series and then rebranded themselves NXL Europe. The event looked good. We saw a little bit of rain Friday, a little bit of rain Saturday, and some fog Sunday, but it looked like it went well. At least what I could tell from 6,000 miles away, it looked like it went well. And we have winners from the event, and like always, I'm reading them straight from this laptop because I'm never going to remember any of them. So in 3-man, Machine took home first place. In 10-man, Breakout Spot took home first. And in Division 5 5-man, the Pirates took home first place. First place in Division 4 X-Ball was Furix. First place in Division 3 X-Ball, Bazoters? Yep. Division 2 X-Ball, Fighters ProShar Perm took home first place. Semi-Pro RMG Mercs took home first, and in first place in the professional division, Houston Heat beat out Impact to take home first. I said that already. So on Sunday, there were a lot of good pro matches that went down. Like we saw Edmonton Impact play the Tauntauns, where the Tauntauns were up 4-1 with 3:30 left, and then Impact was able to come back and tie it up and then win in overtime. So they ended up beating them 5-4, scoring like 4 quick points to be able to tie it up and win. And the finals matches were also really good. In that third place match, we saw the Tauntauns play the Expendables, went to overtime, great match. And then that first place match, we saw Houston Heat play Impact, that also went to overtime. And then we saw Chad George beat Dalton Vanderbilt in a one-on-one in overtime to give Houston Heat the victory. Chad George actually won 2 one-on-ones in that finals match. It's really good. So if you're a Go Sports person, you like pay for it, go watch it. The Iron City Classic has sold out again. The Iron City Classic is a 10-man tournament that takes place in Pittsburgh this coming August. And they sold out again with 54 teams. I say sold out again because on March 21st, they announced they were sold out at 36 teams. But on April 4th, they decided to increase the maximum number of teams to 54, and then sold out on the 11th. So they sold out really, really quick. It's kind of crazy how they have 54 teams already paid and signed up for a tournament in August. I mean, you look at any of the other big leagues like the NXL or like, was it Millennium or NXL Europe? They don't have that many teams even paid for that far in advance. So it's pretty cool. I don't know. I always talk about Iron City Classic and 10-man. It's just exciting to me. And finally, like 2 weeks ago, we did this Paintball Setup Wars Episode 4 Autococker Edition. We're going to announce winners, but first, a bit of a recap. First up, we have Alex and his Meteor Featherlight Autococker. He has a Meteor Featherlight Autococker body, Meteor trigger frame, Inception Design front pneumatics, Inception Design regulator, and that pops on-off. Next up, we have Daniel in his Kraken Autococker. He has Inception Design front pneumatics, Inception Design trigger frame, the AKA 2-liter inline regulator, and that pops on-off. And then third, we have Solar in his mechanical WGP Carnivore. Doing that, he put the Bell Sales front pneumatics on there, the CCM 86 slider frame, and a CP regulator. And then we have Ben and his super custom Empire Resurrection Autococker. Ben went to town on this thing. He has Inception Design front pneumatics, Inception Design's trigger frame, Inception Design's on-off, and the AKA Sidewinder. And then we have a real fancy one with Chris and his Inception Designs Hornet. Chris has some really sweet anodizing on his Hornet. So this gun's pretty much all Inception Design. The pneumatics, trigger frame, inline regulator, on-off, beaver tail, cocking knob, all of it Inception Designs. So those are the guns. Now let's go over voting totals and who actually won. In 5th place, we had Alex and his Featherlight Meteor with 5% of the vote. Ben came in 4th with his Resurrection Autococker and 7%. Solar with his Mechanical Carnivore took 3rd place and 8% of the vote. Chris with his Inception Design Hornet got 38%. And in 1st place is Daniel with his Kraken Autococker and 40% of the vote. So congratulations, Daniel. I will email you and you get to pick some cool Paintball Ruin My Life merch. I'll get in contact with you. Congrats. So now it's time for cool paintball on the internet. There is a new episode of the Playing On podcast with Carl Markowski. This time Carl sits down with Jack Wood from Planet Eclipse. Jack Wood has been with Planet Eclipse for like 20 years or something like that. He is the head engineer, head designer, main man in charge of actually designing all these paintball guns that Planet Eclipse puts out. He gives us some insight into what Planet Eclipse used to be, where they've come from, and where they're going. It's a really good listen if you're like into paintball history or a Planet Eclipse fan. GI Sportz last week put out a new video, film, movie thing all about the new NXL Pro teams. This year the NXL picked up 4 new pro teams, ML Kings, Elevation, DMG, and New York Extreme. The video's about an hour long. They devote about 15 minutes to each of the teams, do like interviews, history of the team, and some highlights from NXL Vegas. It's a good way to like get to know these new pro teams, which most of us probably don't know all that much about. And with the conclusion of NXL Europe, just like we talked about a little bit ago, GI Sportz has put up all of the webcasts on the internet, so you can go back and watch those really, really good finals matches. For links to that Playing On podcast or any of the GI Sportz stuff, just look at links in the description. That's all Paintball Ruin My Week!